She decided to wait for her fiance by their car where it was parked few steps away. Soon, she spoke to a man who had just finished eating and had come out of the restaurant and whose car was parked close to theirs. "Are you not bothered with the presence of the madman while you eat here every day?" she asked. "Oh, not at all. He may be an angel of the Lord in disguise, and so we do not chase him away. Remember, our Lord Jesus Christ says that we feed him if we feed others who do not have food and ask for our help," the man replied. That night, when Dr. Jasinta returned home, she could not sleep as she kept thinking about Iya Kunle's restaurant. Once upon a time, in a small town called Kiniko, lived a woman called Iya Kunle. Iya Kunle owns a local food restaurant. Iya Kunle sells the tastiest local dishes in Kiniko town. Her restaurant was always filled with customers. People from far and near would usually come to Kiniko town just to eat in Iya Kunle's restaurant. What astonishes people most is that 65% of our customers were no ordinary men, but men of timber and caliber, such as state councillors, commissioners, local government chairpersons, big and wealthy businessmen. Rumor even has it that the state governor of the state where Kiniko town is located also sends his personal assistant to buy food for him from Iya Kunle's restaurant on a daily basis. People who had never tasted her food kept wondering what was so special about her food that it attracts important men. But when these people taste her food, they also get hooked up. There is a particular madman who is always by the side of Iya Kunle's restaurant. The madman looks so dirty and smells very bad. The madman never goes away. Morning and night, he lurks around the restaurant. Every day at the peak of sales, when there are many customers, the madman would go into the restaurant and move from table to table, asking all the customers that are eating to give him their food. When the customers attempt to chase the madman away, Iya Kunle and her waiters would stop them. God sends angels as mere and ordinary men in disguise. So, this madman might be an angel in disguise. We help such people here and do not send them away, Iya Kunle and her waiters would say to their customers. After hearing what Iya Kunle and her waiters say to them, these customers would usually offer to buy the madman some food, but he would refuse and insist that he wants the one which the customer is already eating. Iya Kunle would encourage her customers to give the madman what he wants, reminding them of the possibility of tending to an angel. And so, the customers would leave their food for the madman and order another plate of food. For those who refuse to give in to the madman's requests and not leave their food for him, the madman would spit into their food, making it unfit for them to continue eating the food. This would make some customers want to just buy their food as takeaway, but Iya Kunle has a law that insists that a customer must first sit and eat in the restaurant before she would sell a takeaway home for that person. One would have thought that these strange events at Iya Kunle's restaurant would make people stop patronizing her, but the more her customers grew. Amongst the many customers of Iya Kunle, 90% were men, and so many wives and mothers whose husbands and sons patronize Iya Kunle were uncomfortable with the way things are. The fact that their husbands and sons patronize Iya Kunle was something that did not sit well with them, but they could do little or nothing about it, as these men kept going to the restaurant despite all they say and do. One of such women was Jasinta, a young, beautiful woman in her late 20s who is also a medical doctor. Dr. Jasinta was engaged to be married to her fiance, Barrister Bamidele. Her first experience with Iya Kunle's restaurant was when her fiance, Barrister Bamidele, told her about a new excellent restaurant he had just discovered that sells excellent local dishes and insisted that they go there for lunch one afternoon. When they arrived at the restaurant, Dr. Jasinta began feeling uneasy as the atmosphere around there felt weird to her. As she stood there and wondered why she was having such feeling, suddenly the madman came out of the restaurant dancing and laughing, and then danced back inside immediately. Jasinta was taken aback and withdrew from entering the restaurant. What is a madman doing inside the restaurant? And why is there no one trying to stop him from dancing in and out of the restaurant at will? Jasinta questioned Bamidele. That's what he does every day, but he's harmless. Just ignore him and let's go inside so we can have a good meal, Barrister Bamidele replied, holding his fiance's hand and trying to lead her inside. Did you say every day? This happens here every day and you still come here, Dr. Jasinta said in utter disbelief. I have told you that he is harmless. Why are you making a big fuss about this? You can leave if you don't want to have lunch, Barrister Bamidele said angrily and walked in, leaving his fiancée outside. Dr. Jasinta still find it hard to believe. How could her fiancé and every other person that comes here not see anything wrong with a madman so dirty, unkempt and smelly walk in and out of the restaurant as he pleases every day? She decided to wait for her fiancé by their car where it was parked few steps away. Soon, she spoke to a man who had just finished eating and had come out of the restaurant and whose car was parked close to theirs. Are you not bothered with the presence of the madman while you eat here every day? She asked. Oh, not at all. He may be an angel of the Lord in disguise, and so we do not chase him away. Remember, our Lord Jesus Christ says that we feed him if we feed others who do not have food and ask for our help, the man replied. That night, when Dr. Jasinta returned home, she could not sleep as she kept thinking about Iya Kunle's restaurant. She made a call to her fiance's mother and told her about what she had found out. All advice given to Barrister Bamidele by his mom, his older sisters and his uncles to stop him from going to Iya Kunle's restaurant fell on deaf ears. At this stage, Dr. Jasinta realized that it was no ordinary. At work the next day, she related the issue to her two close friends who are also her colleagues. Jasinta found out that her friends have also heard about Iya Kunle's restaurant before now. However, they advised her to forget about taking any spiritual steps as she intends to. According to them, people who are taught the same way as she did in the past and are taking spiritual steps ended up disappointed, as the different pastors, various spiritualists and some prophets that they are taking to the place declared after praying that there is nothing diabolical about Iya Kunle, a restaurant and the madman, and that Iya Kunle is right for always feeding the madman and also encouraging her customers to do the same. However, Dr. Jasinta remained unconvinced and believes that there was more to it than the natural eyes could behold. She discussed the issue with her pastor, Pastor James, and together with the church prayer group, a prayer warfare was raised for days. After 14 days of praying and calling on God to intervene in his mighty power, they set off for Iya Kunle's restaurant. On reaching there, Iya Kunle, who had spotted them from afar, ordered her staff and thugs to chase them away even before they could get close to the entrance of the restaurant. Why wouldn't you all just let me be and allow me do my business in peace? Please go away, she said, yelling at them. We do not have to go in, for God moves mightily and from any direction, and today all these men you have held captive will be free, Pastor James declared. And immediately, he and his prayer group began to pray. And as they prayed, the thugs Iya Kunle had sent to stop them started dropping their weapons one after the other. At that same time, the madman who was in the restaurant came out also and started shouting at them. "Why are you troubling me? I am only doing what she came to ask of me," he said. By this time, the customers who were in the restaurant began coming out to see what had caused the commotion outside, and so did passers-by in the streets, who stopped to witness what was going on. Jasinta, Pastor James and his team continued praying. "She came to me to make her wealthy through her food business, and that is all I am doing," the madman said. "And for this to happen, I have to be here at all times and eat from the food she serves her customers," the madman continued. Everyone present at the scene were shocked to their bones. They picked up stones and started throwing at Iya Kunle, while some chant, "Confess! Confess!" Iya Kunle began to confess, as she admitted that all the madman had said was the truth. She said that she had gone to a juju man in a faraway village some years ago when her business was not doing well and she was struggling to survive. She told them that the juju man asked her to perform some sacrifices, which she did. After performing the sacrifices, the juju man informed her that the madman has to be at her restaurant every day and eat from her customers' plates and convert their saliva to wealth for her in order to complete the ritual process and give her the kind of wealth she desires. Iya Kunle said that she had objected to the idea, knowing how unnatural it would seem to everyone, and begged for another option. But the juju man told her that it was the only way. At that junction, Iya Kunle had wanted to back out of the whole process, but the juju man warned her that it was not possible, as she and her entire immediate family would run mad if she did. He asked her to just follow his instructions and assured her that everything would go well. She revealed that the pastors, spiritualists and prophets who had come to stop her in the past were unable to, as they were mere men in the spirits who do not have a close walk with God, and so they were warned by the madman to stay away from his business. After the whole confession, the madman fell to the ground and disappeared. Though it was a hot afternoon, everyone at the scene were cold and had goosebumps as they opened their mouths wide in shock. Yakun was arrested by the state government and was sentenced to life imprisonment by the state judge. A year later, she died in prison from an outrageously swollen stomach and legs. The end. An important moral lesson to note from this story is that wealth gotten not by hard work but by fraud or diabolical means would not last long. I hope you enjoyed the story and have learned a thing or two from it. I would love to know. Please leave a comment. Thank you for watching and see you in our next video. Bye.